Hello guys and welcome back to another video. We are going into May and that means it's time for another monthly portfolio update. And I am of course, as always, gonna show you everything about my portfolio, my best and my worst performing stocks for the month, how much I've gained or lost in total, what stocks I'm buying and how much dividend income I'm getting. And April has been a really bad month on the stock market. And when looking at the returns during the last month, well then we do see that all the markets have basically gone down. We have the S&P 500 index that is down by more than 3% during the last month. We have the Dow Jones index that is down by more than 4% during the last month. And we have the Nasdaq Composite Index that is down by almost 4%. So it has been a really bad month overall for the stock market. There has been a lot of talk lately about what is going to happen with the interest rates, and it seems like the Fed is not really sure what to do about it, and that has caused some panic on the stock markets. And I do really think that is mainly why we do see these bad returns during the last month. But April has definitely been a really crazy month on the stock market. So let's just have a look at just how my portfolio has performed. But before we get to it, then in case you're new to the channel, then my name is Casper and here we strictly talk about investing and personal finance. So if you like investing and you want to retire early, well then press that subscribe button below. And also guys, please leave a comment below and tell me all about how your portfolio has performed during the last month. I want to know what your best performing stock has been, what your worst performing stock has been. I basically want to know all about it. So please leave a comment below. Anyways, getting straight into it, then we do immediately see that the last month has not been a good month for me. And I right now have a portfolio that is worth just above $52,000. And during the last month alone, well then I've lost almost $1,000. And that is a negative return of 1.85%. However, during the last month, I've also gotten $96 in dividends. And that is somewhat above average. So that is at least somewhat good. We also see that I did invest $800 into the stock market. And this month, I actually did invest into a new stock. So stay tuned and find out what that stock is. However, all of this does bring my total return ever since I started tracking this portfolio using the spreadsheet here up to $8,400. And that is something that I'm pretty happy about. And that is also equal to a return of almost 19%. And that is pretty good. And I've now almost gotten $1,000 in dividends. And that is a big milestone for me. And when comparing my return with the return for the rest of the market, well then I basically haven't performed that bad. We saw just before that most of the major indexes were down by more than 3%. And I only have a negative return of 1.85. So it isn't all too bad when taking that into consideration. So I am at least happy about having beaten the performance of the major indexes, even though I'm in negative for the month. So looking here at the overview of my portfolio, well then we do see that the last line here is Visa. And that is the new stock that I bought. And I basically bought 3 shares in Visa and I paid $271 on average for these 3 shares. And that is pretty good in my opinion. But apart from my new investment in Visa, then is everything else basically exactly the same as it was last month. I haven't really made any other changes to my portfolio than that. And looking at the list here of all of my stocks within my portfolio, well then we do see that during the last month, then I basically only have a few stocks that is in the green. And my best performing stock during the last month has been Tesla, that is up by 5.5%. And that is then followed by Exxon, that is up by almost 2%. And that is then followed by Apple, that is up by 1.2%. And then we have Coca-Cola, that is up by almost 1%. But every single other investment that I have has been in the red during the last month. And looking at my worst performing stocks, then my worst performing stock for the last month has been Abbey, that is down by almost 11%. That is then followed by Johnson & Johnson, that is down by 8%. And that is then followed by Pfizer, that is down by 7.26%. And that is then followed by the Vanguard Small Cap Index Fund, that is down by almost 5%. And then we have SCHD, that is down by more than 4%. So overall, then it has been a really bad month for me. And we also do see here that most of my investments haven't really performed that well during the last month. I basically only have 5 investments in total. That has given me a positive return during the last month. But even though my stocks have performed that bad, then I've at least still beaten the performance of the major indexes. But even though I've had a bad month on the stock market, then I do still like my portfolio and I do feel very confident about my portfolio, so I'm not too concerned about it. And moving on to my plans going forward, then I don't really plan on changing too much here. I want to keep on investing into high quality dividend paying companies in order to increase my dividend income. But I also want to invest more into high quality tech companies because I do think that tech is going to be the best performing sector for 2024 and maybe even 2025 as well. And I don't want to miss out on that. But even with that said, then I still want the core of my portfolio, and the core is at least 50% of my entire portfolio, to be placed within high quality ETFs. And that is ETFs like the S&P 500 index and SCHD. And I want to keep on doing that in order to get that safety and a really good foundation for my portfolio going forward. And I also want to keep on investing every single month. I do believe that investing every single month is the most simple and the easiest way to be invested. And that was all I had for this monthly portfolio update. Overall, then I've gotten a negative return during the last month, but my return has not been that bad when comparing with the rest of the market. Remember to leave a comment below the video and tell me what your best and your worst performing stock has been for the month and how your portfolio has performed during the last month. And also don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel for more weekly content just like this. See you guys in the next one.